Hi everybody, welcome to the dungeon. My name is Robin and today is Flameworking Adventures in Boroland. Some of you have been asking me to do a few more pieces out of Boro. I thought last weekend would be fun to play around with the little bit of Boro tubing that I have left over, and it's this Simax tubing. So I have a whole bunch of these like ends of the long tube that I pulled. I thought it would be fun to make some hollow beads. This is not a demonstration. This is more of a progress report on how I'm doing. And I don't even have all the tools that I need to make this properly, but this is what I have so far. With that said, I hope you all enjoy, and I hope you're all doing safe and well out there. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time in the dungeon. Here's a few different blanks of my tubing that I was able to find that would work out pretty good to make a hollow bead. And so I'm going to pick one of these to start out with. And I'm also going to use a little pair of bonsai shears. This is going to come in a little handy for me. I may or may not use it. And because I don't have any of the hot fingers, this is what I'm going to use to put the bead away with. So it's really just trying to find out whatever I can use to make this work for me. And before I start anything out, I make sure that I heat up and have open a point on the end of this tubing. I don't want it to collapse or implode on itself. I want to make sure I always have the end open so there's an airflow all the way through. And what I'm doing here is I'm just going to start out by heating up the end of my tubing. And I want to draw this out or kind of close it down, basically. So I'm going to spend a little time heating up the end there. And I'm just going to focus my heat on the end while I roll it on that graphite pad and get it kind of starting to close a little bit. It could be smaller, but I'm impatient with the Boro, so that was good enough for me. And right now I'm going to spend some time just keeping the open tube warm while I heat up a bit of clear. And then I'm going to press it down to make a small disc or Maria on the end. And then I'm just going to weld it right to the end of the opening. And it's like the perfect size. And that is good enough for what I need. And I'm just going to roll it in here, make sure that it's on center, and then let that cool down. And that'll be my other handle for this piece. So now we're going to go ahead and get into making this bead. So I'm going to spend a lot of time. It's all about time heating the Boro. It's so different from the 104 glass, but it's still fascinating to work with this glass. And what I was hoping to do here was pull out a longer point, but I feel like I got a bit enchanted by, the heating and the melting of the glass. I didn't pull it out as long as I wanted to, but it still is going to work out okay. So I'm just trying to get this bit of glass hot enough to start to cinch in and melt down. And then you'll see the bead blank on the left side that I'm going to make the bead out of. And yes, you can do this with any kind of tubing. So I'm going to pull that side out a little bit. I was going to pull the whole thing out into a longer point, but the glass stiffens up so much. And because with the tubing that I'm using, it gets so thin at the end that I didn't want to go and try to reheat it. It was good enough where it is. It kind of separated the bead out. And now what I'm going to do is spend a little bit of time on both sides and start to thin out and pull and kind of, what am I trying to say here? I'm trying to get the glass to cinch in a little bit more. I'm trying to gauge the hole size right here as I kind of get the glass to melt inward, and then I'm pulling it out smaller and smaller. So I'm trying to taper the ends, basically. All right. So now I feel like this is looking pretty good. All right. So I'm going to spend some time, again, heating up the bead itself. And what I want to do here is just puff it up a little bit and get my roundness. It isn't super hot, so it's not going to be a big bead, but you can blow this out to round it out however you want and when you're ready. Like right here, this is kind of weird, but I like to heat the glass up at the end because it's so thin, it will kind of wrinkle on itself. And when the Boro wrinkles on itself and cools down, it creates an area that wants to automatically crack and break. So I thought I would just kind of like push the glass in here on the wrinkle and just break it off. And that gave me the opening hole that I needed. So I was kind of happy there. That's not like, I'm sure that's not the way it's done professionally, but it worked out in my favor here. Okay, so right now what I want to do is just make sure that the hole is round. I don't want to try to open it. I'm just heating it up and trying to fit in my little graphite reamer, and then I will take it in the flame and just kind of round it out a little bit. That's it. I don't want to open this up at all. And then I'm going to hold it down in the flame and round it out, and there is our first side of the bead finished. The hole is super big, but like I said, it's the progress that I'm trying to get to. So hopefully when I make more of these, I'll be able to get the hole a little bit smaller. So when you're working on something new like this, oh, there I am using my shears to kind of make a kind of like a neckline over there. And now what I want to do here, because I don't have any hot fingers, I'm going to make a punty and punty up the inside of the opening there. And it's only a temporary punty, and it will come off nice and easy when we're finished. But then that leaves this side, and I kind of messed up trying to open it, you know, the breakoff technique. So, you know, if that happens to you, this is what I do. The glass is very thin on the end, and I'm going to use my tungsten tweezers just to start to pick off the very end of this tubing. And the more I pick off, the thinner and thinner the glass gets. And what happens is that when you pick off enough, an opening, it will start to open. So once I have that opening, I'm just gonna kind of open it a little tiny bit with my tweezers, and then it leaves some roughness on the end, and I'm gonna get some of that off. I'm just gonna pull it off with a cooler rod of Boro there. But it does look really bad. It looks really sloppy here, but let's try to fix this. I don't want to take off too much glass and make the hole any bigger. So what I decided to do was just stop where I was at and just start to heat this up and get that hole to kind of get a little smaller. And I will use my graphite pad here in a second to help me out. We're almost done, you guys. All right, so now I'm just going to melt that in and just get my profile looking nice and kind of pull that side of the bead in a little bit to match the other side. It didn't, it's not perfect. It doesn't match exactly the way I would hope it to, but it's close enough for rock and roll. So I'm gonna finish this up a little bit more, and we are just about done here. I'm going to get a little bit more defined here and use my butter knife to get the very, very edge. And that'll be it. I hope you guys aren't laughing if you are Boro experts. Anyway, there's my other opening. And yeah, at this point, I'm going to use these hemostats here to gently break it off and heat that little spot there and put it away. And with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I know it's different, it's a little crazy, but I hope to share more progress with you in the future. All right, you guys, take care. We'll see you next time.